How do you do, G-Pod crew? It's your Naughty Body Potty here, and today we are reviewing Werewolf by Night. Now, I have actually never read this comic. Yes, I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I can't read every comic, and Werewolf by Night just did not catch my attention. I think it's in the old ways of the old Halloween comic books, like, you know, the Tales from the Crypt, things of that nature. It's in that same nature, I'm pretty sure, that the old comic book was like. And I know that there's characters from this that actually bleed into some of the Marvel Knight series. So that's my familiarity. Anything I do know, I will definitely point out. And anything that I go, oh my god, I didn't know this guy was involved, I'll definitely point out as well. This is going to be a little bit different than I usually do it when it comes to editing as well. It's going to be quite different since I wasn't prepared for this. But hopefully, everything that I bring you today is entertaining. And with that being said, let's get started with my review of Werewolf by Night. Well, to get things started, I want to talk about how I actually enjoyed this, but it was very brief. It's 52 minutes, but it's around 45 minutes, I'd say. The good thing is it does introduce things that I didn't know had in common with each other. Only mainly because I didn't read both books, but of course I know because one is very iconic. But we'll get into that when we get to the breakdown. How I feel about this? I feel this is the introduction to monsters in the MCU. Good introduction to monsters in the MCU. I like the very macabre black and white feel. And I like that it even takes nod to old shows and movies like Wizard of Oz and things of that nature, which you'll understand when you watch it. It's such a... I liked the way they handled this and bringing something of a new look to an old flavor of old cinema. And I'm really, really happy with the outcome that is Werewolf by Night. It's brief, it's short, it's good, but it actually introduces something big to me when I get to the breakdown that we'll talk about. So how do I feel? I feel A+, 8 out of 10, good. I mean, not A+, but 8 out of 10, maybe even lower, 7 out of 10. It's still good. Based on the Marvel shows we begin, I feel like it's a good, solid addition to the lore of Marvel. And now we have monsters in the world of the MCU that can be used for things like Blade and Ghost Rider. I feel this was also a closer introduction to Marvel Knight series. Because the funny thing is when I after I watched Werewolf by Night, it recommended Moon Knight. This feels like a hint to me that they're trying to move something in the Disney Plus world towards the Marvel Knights, and I keep telling people that I feel like Moon Knight and even maybe Werewolf by Night is all a hyper use of the word Knight. Knight, Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight. These are all things that delve into the shadow, dark areas that Blade would be in. And Blade was part of the Marvel Knight series, and I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think Blade, actually, is going to be the introduction into the Marvel Knights universe when it comes to movies, and that we're now being introduced to the Marvel Knight series through the Night thing. But, again, I will refer to that later on when I get into, later reviews. But, again, I loved it. It was a very enjoyable thing, so I wanted to give it high reviews. But I'm going to show you two things that brought my attention to it and made me go, oh my god, this is, real in this world that I didn't know these things existed. Pretty much I was excited to find some things that I actually knew about, even though I've never read Werewolf by Night. And you'll know what I mean if you watch the episode, or at least if you've not, you'll know by now by my review. So, with this being a popular review, I'm going to say it's a good review, and I want to go ahead and take this next step into my breakdown of, well, basically the two Easter eggs I found. Let's get started. Now we have something I'm actually familiar with. Bloodstone, or the Bloodstone family. I'm not really too deep into it. I just know of Elsa Bloodstone. In the comics, or I should say more for me, in the Deadpool comics, the Defenders and Elektra actually go after Elsa Bloodstone in her manor, and this is the reason why I stated, though I didn't read the comics, I knew I was going to find connections, and I didn't know if this series was based on the whole family of the Bloodstones. I didn't know if it was or not, and I'm not sure if the comics are accurate to that as far as it all being about the Bloodstones. I'm pretty sure it is now that I think about it, but again, I never read it. it just made sense to me in the connotation, because I know Doctor Strange has some past with the Bloodstones, and I think even Doctor Strange was a part of Werewolf by Night, or maybe not. Maybe I'm just wrong, and I'm thinking the characters from Werewolf by Night were affected with Doctor Strange. Either way, the Bloodstones are a major part of, I guess, this series, but I know they crossed over into the paths of other comics, just like Marvel does anyway. But, yeah, Elsa Bloodstone, an actual character from a Deadpool comic. So, there you go. Wait, Man-Thing is the main creature of Werewolf by Night? Okay, for a lot of those who don't know, Man-Thing is Marvel's equivalent to Swamp Thing from the comic books. And I had no idea that Man-Thing was the one that was actually the enemy in this. This is a whole nother level of excitement for me. I thought the original Werewolf by Night literally was a werewolf. So, what am I missing here? If you're a fan of Werewolf by Night, tell me in the comments below what I'm missing here. But Man-Thing, oh my god, Man-Thing is the creature in Werewolf by Night. And there you guys have it. That is my full review of Werewolf by Night. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about the one thing where I thought Man-Thing was the main enemy. Of course not. We do finally see the werewolf that you see on the front cover of the comic book. And again, I didn't know. I was just confused to see Man-Thing. Now, I don't know if Man-Thing was in the original Werewolf by Night comic book. And I could be wrong. He could have. But I know more of a Man-Thing from other comic books. Just kind of like Elsa Bloodstone with the Deadpool comics. They've had a relationship in there and everything. And I even know that, he got him a little bit of action. Anyway, my point to the whole thing is we do have a set-up universe of characters that also could cross into the world that I love, which is Deadpool, and of course Marvel Knights, as I stated before. But Man-Thing was a huge shock to me. I did not know he was a part of Werewolf by Night, but now we have Man-Thing in there, and everyone knows Man-Thing is good too, which means it's going to be great for storytelling, driven to people wanting to kill a monster that's actually a nice monster. But I want to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments below, did you enjoy Werewolf by Night? Do you want more of these supernatural horror versions of Marvel? Again, comment below, tell me what you guys think. I want to thank y'all for watching. I loved Werewolf by Night. I thought it was amazing, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. But as always, I'm Putty with the G-Pop crew, and you know what we do? Watch movies like Werewolf by Night, or miniseries, or whatever this might be called, too. I didn't know how to end that. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys in my next video.